Welcome to the 4th edition of Blades TV, and while I'm at it, welcome to the Sask Sales Center, formerly the Credit Union Center, before that Sask Place, and before that a big open field.
A big open field. Well, one thing that's not changing is the fact that this is one of the great buildings in the Western Hockey League. Just last week I got to tour the locker room, and you know what? The rest of the building isn't far behind.
Yeah, it is immaculate in here. A couple of players for the first time get a chance to see one of the special places in the arena when I sit down with Alex Moody and Ryan Coughlin, but we'll get to that later on, because first we want to talk about a pretty important piece. Some of the players got a bit of perspective given to them.
Absolutely. Four of the Blades got to visit one of the toughest areas in our nation. That's Vancouver's East Hastings. Now, I will warn you, some of this footage is dramatic, but it's a powerful reminder of the need in our nation.
When I was 23 years old, and I've seen things that I wish I didn't have to see, and I don't wish that on anybody.
Vancouver, BC, one of the most beautiful places on earth, but aside from the majestic scenery and of course the harbor and the Pacific Ocean behind me, Saskatoon Blades have come here for the opportunity of a lifetime. Project Face Off, that began 10 years ago. It's a partnership between the RCMP and the Saskatoon Blades. It's all aimed at helping educate kids about the effects and the consequences of substance abuse. And as we're about to see firsthand here on the Lower East Side in downtown Vancouver, the streets of East Hastings, it's nothing less than a devastating path.
How much heroin would you do a day?
Not enough.
My first drug of choice is heroin.
If I had money and I was gonna go buy some drugs, probably heroin.
Project Face Off is a drug awareness program run by the Vancouver Police Service, the Odd Squad in Vancouver, and it's various major junior hockey clubs are involved in it, and they bring kids out here, walk East Hastings and deal with the drug addicts and the addictions. The kids talk to all the users and whatnot, come back and deliver a message to school kids in Saskatoon.
When did you first start using drugs? 12 years old. It supported me and my father's habits. So there's $500 a day. No one should have to ever see what these eyes have seen. And if you don't want to and you want to have a good life for yourself, then just stay away from it.
People are not proud of it, you know, and you talk to them, and whether they say, or whether they don't want to show us, or whether they want to show us, they say, oh, I'm not proud of it, I don't want to show you. Or there's people that say they're crying in front of you and they want to change their life, but they just can't, and that it's a sad thing to see.
You should tell them not to do drugs.
So what's that done to your life? It's been tough, eh?
Came down here to just try to get high and escape some of my pains from my past, and it dragged on into an addiction that just became part of my life. And now I'm here.
I got a 22-year-old son. I see him down here sometimes.
Do you like seeing them down here?
Not at all.
Well, I haven't spoken to any of my family in a long time. I almost died twice in the same day last week. So 5 years from now, I'm probably non-existent.
It breaks your heart to see this, and you see it. You know, you can be desensitized to it. We laugh and joke about things as police officers to, to get over the things that we see, but I would never want to be so jaded that I wouldn't be affected by the things that I'm seeing out there.
This is my albino sweetie. Her name's Sweetie. This is Chubby.
And that's an albino?
It's her boyfriend. Yeah, she's albino.
I went to the hospital one time, right, and I had a couple of nurses come over and say, well, look, how come you're looking so good? I says, because I went on a diet. This is a very dangerous area, all right? I've seen at least, since I've been on this floor here alone, 9 bodies taken out. I'm not talking about patients, bodies. Drugs is a bad thing. No matter what the concept is about making money, always keep in mind the can be blood money.
Well, it was good that we really got to interact with them, and they were good to us for sure. And you know, you really get to see where they were and how they ended up there, and their life goals of, you know, maybe in the next few years where they saw themselves, and it really gives you a perspective. You know, a lot of people didn't really expect to be there, and now they are, and it just goes to show that, you know, the choices you make in life have certain consequences, and you got to do the best that you can to make the right ones. No, I think that's another part I'm really excited for. Go back to Saskatoon and even maybe my hometown when I get back home. I mean, just share with the kids that, you know, there's lots of things out there, and you got to make the right decision, and you know, there's lots of help out there for people. And I know for myself, just being here, I felt I picked up so much knowledge just to share with kids back home, back in Saskatoon, and that's huge for me.
The downtown east side is everywhere in the world, right? It's a decision, right? It's a decision that you have to make.
Wow, what an unbelievable story, and I'm sure that's going to stick with the boys for the rest of their lives.
Still a lot more to come on our show. No team in the WHL has been as busy as the Saskatoon Blades. We find out the reason behind these moves, as well as get another look at that whole new blue look.
Welcome back to Blades TV. Well, it's safe to say the team that is going to take to the ice this Thursday and Saturday, and yes, the ice is back, is going to look a lot different than the team we saw at the home opener on the 20th.
Yeah, here's a look at the photo from the 2013-2014 squad. 6 dudes in this photo will be on the ice out here Thursday and Saturday.
Absolutely. So you can't blame the fans if they're constantly checking their programs. The team looks so different over the last couple of weeks. And with that, we have more with the voice of the Saskatoon Blades. That's Les Lazaruk. He's chatting with GM and coach Bob Woods.
Thank you, Joelle. And with the GM and head coach of the Saskatoon Blades, Bob Woods, right where it all happens. This is the nerve center in the coach's office. Bob, changes, my goodness. Even myself, and I've been doing this for a long time, this play-by-play thing, the changes to this hockey club, the number of different and new names is really something. It's almost unprecedented for the team, but it's something that obviously you felt had to happen.
Well, again, you know, looking at it, we had the first 4 games we needed to kind of just see what the league was all about and what the level was, and really we wanted to see what guys we thought could play at this level, and you know, where we thought we could upgrade a little bit, and again, I thought with the guys we brought in and what I've seen so far, I think we have done that. And again, it's just the point of, this is our group. Now we have to get guys, gelled together and on the same page, and I think that'll happen.
I think Joelle and Kevin were saying to us that since the end of the preseason, I think there's only like 6 or so names that are familiar from the team photograph of last year's team. Because of that, it's a chemistry issue. Obviously, you're trying to get guys to play together. Not having played so many games so far is probably a good thing for this team.
Oh, for sure. And again, even last week, going into Medicine Hat, we had all those changes and really only had one practice, and I don't think that's enough time to really get everybody on board and on the same page. But, we have this week where we have 3 or 4 practices, and again, it gives us a chance to get everybody dialed in. I know the guys have done a little team bonding and just getting together as a group, and they know this is what we have. So again, as a coaching staff, we're going to take these guys and we're going to teach them how to play and how we want them to play, and hopefully we can get things turned around and get some wins in the win column.
Yeah, I'm going to just check, make sure. But this is the group we're going with for a while.
Yes, it's, again, you can't make too many changes, and I think we made the changes that we knew we needed to. And again, we're comfortable with the group we have here, and again, we just need to get more out of them, and I think we will.
You talked about culture change at one point. What does that mean exactly in your speak, and you can relate it to fans?
Well, I think the big thing is just that winning culture, where the mindset that you have, how you don't like to get scored on, how do you don't accept losing. And I think right now, and I thought Medicine Hat was kind of a indication of that, of what has been, where we're playing really good and we give up one bad bounce goal and it's just like everything unravels. And I think when you create that winning atmosphere, when those things happen, it doesn't bother you, it doesn't faze you, you just move on and move forward. Where I think right now we're still in that, we come unraveled and we go the wrong direction, and that's a losing attitude. So again, it's going to take time to change that attitude, but I think, again, we're on the right road here.
Saskatoon Blades GM and head coach Bob Woods here on Blades TV this week. And Bob, compounding that as well is that the early schedule called for so many road games. 4 out of the first 5 are on the road. Now you've got 8 of your next 9 at home, and a chance to really settle in here a little bit and get this group together more so than not at home.
Well, that's, again, it's always nice to get the kinks out on the road where you don't do it in front of your home fans. And, we took some lumps there. But again, I think it's really woke guys up. And guys, I don't think are ready to accept that again. So, again, we're happy to be home in front of our fans. And again, we've got everything in place here. It's just, again, just getting everybody dialed in and moving forward in a positive direction.
So you'd like to be able to show the folks a show. Obviously, you're the home team. It's up to you guys to impress them, but you don't want to go beyond what you're capable of either. There's a fine line in that respect, is there not?
Oh, for sure. And there's a way that we have to play to be successful. And again, I think guys are still learning that. And the things of, just the simplest things of not turning pucks over and just playing the way you're supposed to play. And again, I think even offensively, like we're passing up scoring opportunities where they're hard to get. This is a good league and we played some good teams and they don't give you a lot of scoring chances. So when you get those scoring opportunities, you have to make them count. And we're getting 2-on-1s where we're not even getting a shot off. And it's tough to score goals in those situations. But I think, just through video and just talking to the guys, I think, they're starting to realize, what needs to happen and what needs to change. And again, it's part of your leadership, stepping up. And, we've had lots of meetings. And again, the right things are being said. Now it's just putting it into a game situation. Because I look at our practices are awesome. Our guys work extremely hard and they do everything that you ask of them. It's just we got to transform that into a game now where we do the same things.
A lot of people talk about, and I'm talking about hockey people now, talk about their teams and they talk about style of play and the game's evolving. We're talking with a guy like Mike Johnston, who's now with the Pittsburgh Penguins, but had a very successful Portland team. He liked to talk about a puck possession style of game. Mm-hmm. What style are you trying to preach into your Saskatoon Blades?
Well, we have to be a hard-working team. What we get is going to be a blue collar. I don't think there's anything flashy about us. I don't think we have that type of team yet. I think down the road I can see us being that type of team, but right now we have to be a team that manages the puck. And again, when we get our opportunities, we have to make the most of them because we're limited in ways as far as offensive skill. Especially losing Sherback. That is a big chunk of our offense. So we have to manufacture goals in other ways, and that's just either on the special teams power play or just making sure capitalizing on 5-on-5 opportunities.
You'd like to see the numbers of power play chances for come a little bit closer to what they are against, because right now that's been a little bit tilted in the wrong direction, let's say, so far.
Well, that's hurt us earlier. You know, you can't be taking 8 penalties a night and think you're going to come out with a win. It's just adding fuel to the fire. And I think, you know, if you want to create power play opportunities, you have to do certain things and spend some time in the offensive zone a little bit more, where you're making teams take penalties against you. And again, I don't think we've put enough pressure on teams. But again, you know, we'll get that straightened out.
3 weeks into the season, Bob, how are you enjoying it?
Well, it's a challenge. Again, you know, I think going into this, I think we all hoped that we could turn this around a little bit faster. But again, once I got to see some games at the regular season level, it's, you know, I know there's some work ahead of us. But again, I think it's fixable stuff. I think it's things that we can change. But again, I think it goes back to just changing that attitude and culture and just the way we think. And I think if we can do that, we can transform into some wins.
I think something similar, I spoke with Tim Hunter prior to the game in Moose Jaw. I think he's finding the same thing that you may be finding, is that coming from a National Hockey League background, trying to instill some of what you know from the pro game into what these kids are doing, you have to maybe work at it a little bit more. There's a little more teaching involved.
There's a lot more teaching. And I think things that you take for granted at the NHL level doesn't get done here. You know, you have to, I always say, assume they don't know. And again, we're finding that out. Like, you have to be more detailed and cover everything, because some of these guys just have never been taught those type of things. So again, it's a work in progress, and the guys, they're hungry. Like, they want to fix this. They don't like losing, and they did enough in the past, and they want to change it around. And again, I'm excited about the way things are going right now. And again, a couple wins this weekend would really, I think, help create a better environment and turn things around.
I was going to say, the mantra has to be, we've only played 5 games out of a 72-game season. The season is not made just by those first 5 games.
No, and again, I think we were just fooling ourselves if we thought it was going to change overnight. And I like to be optimistic, and you know, again, hoping that we can get it turned around sooner than later. But you know, we're in it for the long haul here, and again, if it takes more time, then that's what it's going to be. And again, we're just going to keep working at it the best we know how to do. And again, I believe we can turn things around.
Good. Bob, thanks so much for the time here today on Blades TV, and look forward to a good homestand here with 8 of the next 9 games here at the Saskatoon Centre.
Yeah, we're hoping for the same.
Good stuff. Bob Woods, the GM and head coach of the Saskatoon Blades. Let's send it back to Joelle and Kevin.
Thank you very much, Les and Bob. Well, it's shaping up to be a really exciting week, Kevin.
Yeah, it's also shaping up to be a really exciting show. On the other side of the break, we find out why the Blades are bringing in 2 very high-profile reality stars. Again, that's on the other side of the break, and you don't want to miss it.
Well, the Saskatoon Blades are garnering quite the reputation for doing unique events. And I'm joined here by Mike Sissons. He's the Vice President of Operations here with the Blades. And we've got quite the month coming up. What's going on with the doubleheader this weekend?
Crazy month coming up, and starting this Thursday. Thursday and Saturday are our first 2 games back after a 3-week break. Thursday, we're doing a bit of a Throwback Thursday theme. We're going to have some music playing from, you know, the 60s through the 90s.
Oh, wow, will they know what this music is, these Blades kids?
You know what? They're going to have to ask some questions, I think, and maybe the coaches, maybe their parents. Have you ever heard this song before? But I'm pretty excited by it. You know, the music that I was listening to when I started coming to the games, not the 60s stuff, the 90s stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. We're going to have some, you know, pictures of the guys when they were a little bit younger, and really kind of do the good Throwback Thursday thing. Plus, you know, kids are getting into the rink that night for $5. So that's a pretty good little add-on to come to the rink as well.
Can't beat $5, and we've also got a big jackpot coming up as well.
Yeah, Saturday, Prince Albert Raiders are back in town, second time already this early in the season. We're starting our 50-50 at $51,000. That's what it starts out. So when you walk through the door, if you're the first person, it'll say $51,000 on the screen, and it'll only go up from there.
So you pay $5 for the game before, and then come and win $51,000 or more for the game after. You can't lose.
No, I mean, that's a win-win.
And now I have to ask you, are you a Bachelor fan?
You know, I'm a Bachelor fan, not a Bachelorette fan. So I have watched the odd episode or season of The Bachelor. But you know, we're pretty excited to have our friends from The Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise and join us here next week.
Yeah, tell me a bit about that. What's the plan?
Okay, so we got Marcus and Lacey, freshly engaged off Bachelor in Paradise. And they're going to come in on Thursday, the 16th, and share their stories about how they found love in such crazy circumstances, a little bit about their experiences on both their shows, and just give us a bit of an insight into reality TV, if you will. Kind of a fun night for everybody.
Very exciting stuff. And they're planning to hit up the game the day after, correct?
Coming to the game the next day. I'm not sure. I know that Marcus has a bit of a Canadian background, but I'm not sure if Lacey's ever been to Canada or seen a game, so we'll find that out right away. But we'll have them here and, you know, available to fans to take some pictures with and to meet and to ask even a few more questions that night.
Perfect. We'll give them the old Saskatoon welcome.
Exactly.
Awesome. We have a lot more coming up this month, too. There's breast cancer fundraiser as well.
Yeah, it's our first Jersey night of the year. We're allowed 2 Jersey nights a year, and on October the 18th, we're going to be wearing our blue and pink jerseys, specially designed. We did a night like this a couple years ago, and what's special about these jerseys is we actually asked all of our fans, our season ticket holders, to submit names of friends or family members who have had a battle with cancer, and we put those names on the jersey, and we'll be wearing those in honor of those people that night. So they look great. You know, we'll be, I think next week, I'll give you a sneak peek of what they look like. But they're pretty nice looking jerseys.
Just in time for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Exactly.
It's beautiful. Well, we know we have a lot more coming up, but we don't want to spill too much, so that's great. What's coming up after the break is What's Old is New Again.
I am joined right now by Alex Moody, starting goaltender. A brief cup of coffee in Spokane. Now you're back with us from the PA Raiders. Well, from Saskatoon Blades, then PA Raiders. And now back to us. Ryan Coughlin joins us as well. Boys, what's it like being back in Saskatoon?
It's pretty exciting. You know, I was pretty upset when I had to leave. I made some really, really good friends here and love my time as a Blade. And I'm just excited, like I said, and happy that I'm back.
I'm super excited to be back here. You know, I got drafted here, played a few years here, and then, you know, this is home. I love it here.
Well, the deck's been shuffled a little bit over the past couple months. You got a bunch of new teammates, but the old ones are sticking around enough to keep the friendships strong. How do you like the new team so far?
It's good, yeah. I met a couple of the new guys. I think most of them are in school right now, so I haven't met those guys yet. But it looks like a pretty veteran squad. You know, we brought some guys in from some different places, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to start practicing and yeah, get in the game with them.
Yeah, I really, you know, we got a lot of young guys here, but we got a lot of good potential. And I like the guys that we've just brought in that I've just started to meet. And I think the squad's looking good.
We're going to take this in a different direction now. Normally when you guys get asked to do interviews, you think, oh man, why this again? So I'm just going to ask you a couple of really rapid fire questions. Just go with the first one that comes to mind, all right? Okay. Favorite movie?
Step Brothers.
This is how we do it. Da, 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 da. Hey, I never asked you. Yeah. You like guacamole? Oh! Run! Oh God! Run!
He's having a moment.
Shooter, why not?
That's a gooder. How about favorite book?
Hockey Sweater.
Inside Delta Force.
I've never even heard of that. I like it though. Favorite actor?
I got to go with Leonardo DiCaprio, Wolf of Wall Street. That's my favorite.
Without you, they're just worthless hunks of plastic. Like a loaded M16 without a trained Marine to pull the trigger.
Ryan Reynolds.
Favorite pre-game food?
Usually just whatever my billet makes me. Usually just pasta, chicken, white sauce. Yeah, pretty good cook.
Alfredo with chicken.
Okay, so pretty much the same thing for both of you. Favorite non-pre-game food?
It's a tough one. Probably Subway. I like Subway.
Nice little Baconator from Wendy's.
Oh man, both with the fast food. Favorite fast food place? Is it going to be Subway and Wendy's?
I'm going to say White Castle in the States. Burgers.
Chipotle in the States.
I see. Interesting. Who's the funniest guy on the team?
Besides myself, I would say Nick Zajac probably.
Yeah, Zage probably.
what actor do people say you look like the most?
Alan Richardson is Thad Castle in Blue Mountain State, and I've heard that one a couple times before.
Ryan Reynolds, the looks.
Yeah, you do have the Ryan Reynolds thing going on for you. All right. If you weren't a goalie and you weren't a forward, hold on. Wait for it. Everything's okay. You didn't drop the equipment. All right. If you weren't playing hockey, what would your dream job be?
Probably a baseball player, to be honest.
Special Forces.
Special Forces. That's a legit answer. I can't top that, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's nice to learn a little bit more. Alex, Ryan, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
Well, we had a lot of fun doing that show. We hope you enjoyed it as well at home.
Yeah, next week's also promising to be a gooder. My first time topless on television. I and the Blades decided to hop on down to Moksha Yoga for some hot yoga. First time ever.
It is fabulous, I'll tell you that. And remember, this Thursday is Throwback Thursday with the Tri-City Americans.
Then, don't forget the $51,000 50-50 jackpot, which is guaranteed to you Saturday against the Prince Albert Raiders. We'll see you next week.